Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. My name is Breeangelique. For everyone who is watching me on the Breeangelique channel, what's up? It's Tarot Sunday. For everyone who is watching me on Sacred Tarot, my separate tarot YouTube channel, how you doing? Welcome back to another timeless message. So tonight is going to be a collective reading for everyone that's watching. Again, this is a timeless message and we're going to be doing it a little bit differently today. I'm switching it up. If you are watching on Sacred Tarot, I apologize to the rest of the zodiac who never got their timeless message before, but I wanted to take some time to kind of revamp and figure out how I wanted to flow with the timeless messages. So I'm back. Hey girl, hey guys, let's get into this timeless message. To get things started, I am approaching our timeless collective messages a little bit differently by incorporating this self-help self-exploration deck that I bought from Amazon. I used this deck to kind of see what spirit wanted me to talk to you guys about tonight and what the timeless message needed to be centered around. So tonight's timeless message is centered around the category of goals and life purpose. The question is, what habits do you need to acquire to have an optimal year? The reading I'm doing tonight is a 4-part reading using 4 different tarot decks to kind of answer that question. We're going to kick it off with a message of light from the Light Seers Tarot. We're going to follow up with the Modern Witch Tarot to see our potential blockages. Then we're going to have a message of healing from the White Light Oracle, followed by a self-love, self-care message from my self-care oracle. Let's get into our timeless message. So we're going to find out a message of light just to get kind of a nice light start to this reading, to kind of see where we are, what message of encouragement the deck has for us today or tonight. If you haven't already, you can go ahead and light some Palo Santo or a candle, light an incense, and just set yourself some positive intentions for this time in this space. Spirit, please give me a clear message of light for the collective on this evening. What is a message of light that you want the collective to hear? A message of light for the collective. All right. So the message of light is the 5 of Cups. I hope you guys can see that. The 5 of Cups. So with this card, I get the sense that there's something going on emotionally with the collective. There's a woman sitting on the beach and her mascara is running, so she's crying, and she's kind of watching one of her bowls pour out into this abyss. From her perspective, it looks like an abyss, but from our perspective, we can see the light at the bottom of that black hole. So she has 3 empty cups. She has 1 cup that she's spilling out, but the cup behind her is full of rainbows and positivity and promise. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that you have something that didn't work out, or a couple of things that didn't work out. And as this message is relating to goals and life purpose, you could be feeling stuck, or you could be feeling like you chose wrong, or you could be feeling that you don't really know what your purpose is, or you used to think that it was one thing and now you feel like it might be something else. But this is actually a message of encouragement. The 5 of Cups is an encouraging card because it's telling us that though there have been things that have not worked out, there are still things that you have yet to try, and everything that didn't work out is still working together for your advancement. Okay, so like I said, in this card, she, from her perspective, is going to see a black hole, but from our perspective, the higher perspective, we can see down into that hole and see the light at the bottom, right? So where there's light, there's always possibility, there's always promise, right? And then her bowl, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that. Okay, so it did focus. So this is the card. So her bowl that's back here on this side is full of rainbows and promise. Even though there's 3 bowls that didn't work out and she's currently pouring another one down and she's feeling sad, there's no clouds in the sky. There's stars in the sky. There's possibility in the sky. There's possibility in this card. So this is just a message of encouragement to anyone who may be feeling down. Like, now is not really the time to give up. Now is a time to kind of transmute all the pain that you're feeling and transmute any failures that you may have or any perceived failures that you may have had and turn them into something better. It's a time to adjust your mindset and stop speaking negative, self-fulfilling prophecies and affirmations over your life. Start speaking and turning those things into a more positive mantra for yourself. Okay. So for everyone who has not had a reading from me before, I am an intuitive reader, but I also read traditionally. So that was my intuitive interpretation of this 5 of Cups card. Now I want to read it to you out of the book so that you can hear what the author intended you to hear for this message. 5 of Cups. So you're grieving. There's delusion, disappointment, betrayal, bitterness, wallowing, self-pity, and it can signify a broken heart. So disappointment happens, but so does success. That's the message that I wrote to myself. The message I wrote to myself the last time I had this card. Disappointment happens, but so does success. So let it go and surrender because God got you. Okay. So that's the message of light. It's a message of encouragement for you guys in this message this evening. I hope that message of light really encouraged you all because it can be very, very difficult. I found myself in a similar headspace about 2 weeks ago. I was really down and out, but I manifested during the full moon in Libra to have like a better perspective over my life. And I got a very strong message that was telling me that now is not the time to like wallow, and now is not the time to stop working. Now was it was the time for me to dig deeper and come up with some new core principles and just continue to push and to strive. So I hope that that message was encouraging for you all, the message of light. So now let's see what potential blockages may be keeping you from achieving whatever it is that you're setting out to achieve, or could be blocking you from changing your mindset in general. So let's just take a deep dive. What are 3 potential blockages we may be experiencing at this time? 2 of Cups, love. Sorry, waiting for it to focus. So one potential blockage is the 2 of Cups, which is a love connection. Another potential blockage. What's another potential blockage we could be experiencing at this time? 6 of Cups, so another emotional card. And what's one more blockage we could be experiencing at this time? Justice. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. So I'm going to hold all 3 cards up so you guys can see them. If I can get it to focus. There we go. So we have the 2 of Cups, the 6 of Cups in reverse, and the Justice card. So intuitively, I'm feeling that as it relates to life goals and life purpose, we could be, if the 2 of Cups is resonating with you, it could be a situation where you are pouring too much of yourself into another person and not pouring enough into yourself and into whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish in your life. It could be a blockage because it's not that love is a bad thing. It's that sometimes we can find distractions in other people. Sometimes in helping other people get through and navigate their own lives and their own trials and tribulations, we can forget about our own trials and tribulations. Meaning, we could be using them to avoid our work. the things that we need to do for ourselves. Okay, so Two of Cups could be a distraction. It's one of the better distractions, if you ask me. Like, who wouldn't want to be distracted by love, like a soulmate, that beautiful budding relationship energy? That's an amazing thing. But we have to make sure that there's always balance when we are starting new relationships, or when we are navigating old relationships, whatever the case may be. You can never be pouring too much. You can never be pouring more into someone else or something else than you are into yourself and your goals and ambitions. Okay, so while that is not necessarily a super dark or negative potential blockage, it is still there and should still be taken seriously. So if the Two of Cups doesn't resonate with you, if you're sitting here looking like, Bree, I ain't got no nigga, I ain't got no girl, this can't be me, then we're gonna move into the Six of Cups in reverse. Okay, so the Six of Cups in reverse, intuitively, this makes me feel like there could be a connection, whether that be platonic or whether it be romantic, or familial, whatever the case may be. I feel like that it's a relationship that you thought was going to last a long time, and it's come not full circle, but it did a 180 on you. So you thought that this was a person that was going to be in your life and helping you in like a Three of Cups way. When I say Three of Cups, for everybody, again, who has not had a reading before, your Three of Cups is like your core group, your core emotional support group, your soul tribe, your best friends, whatever the case may be. You thought that a person was in your Three of Cups, and you realized over time that either you grew apart or there was a betrayal. Something along those lines happened, and it became, instead of a nostalgic feeling towards this person, it became resentful, it became negative. It's a bad core memory for you at this point. So I feel intuitively that it's time to release that heaviness and release that negativity, release that resentment, release the reluctancy that you, or reluctance, whichever word, that you have towards fostering long-term relationships as a result of this situation falling apart. It's time to release everything negative that came to you or that you are gravitating to as a result of this failed relationship. I also feel that in this situation, it might not have been a very giving and receiving type of situation. It might have been imbalanced. It could have been a situation where you were pouring more into one person than they were pouring into you, or they were pouring into you more than you were pouring into them, and they realized it. Whatever the case may be, I feel that this was a connection that ended for a reason. It may have been karmic. It may have been a long time coming. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make it hurt any less. And I understand that, because I too have been through this situation. But I feel intuitively that it's time to release that energy, because the longer we hold on to that negative space and stay in that negative place, we can't progress forward and be all that we're supposed to be, accomplish all that we're supposed to accomplish. It's just not possible while we're holding on to negativity. Okay. So then we have the Justice card. And I feel, hold on, waiting for it to focus. Focus. There we go. I feel that this Justice card coming out, this is pointing to the fact that this could be alluding back to that Six of Cups energy, but if we're saying that it's not, and we're saying that this Justice card is here in its own right, the vibe that I'm getting from it is that we're holding on to seeing people get what they deserve, like in our opinion. We're holding on to maybe not seeing certain people get what they deserve. We're feeling like we're not getting what we deserve out of life. There's just like this feeling that things are just unfair. You know what I'm saying? This feeling that maybe things are outside of your control and you want to have control over it. Maybe you're trying to control a narrative. Maybe you are feeling vengeful about something or towards someone. This Justice card being here makes me feel like you are expecting certain outcomes from different situations, and you may not have been seeing what you wanted to see from the universe, what you wanted to see from God. Maybe you're praying and your prayers feel like they're not being answered, which can also make us feel like they're not being heard. Maybe you have been witnessing certain people act a certain way that you don't agree with, and you feel like there's no consequence for that. Maybe you feel that you're putting in all this work and you're not getting anything in return. Whatever the case may be, this feeling of justice is very tricky. As a Libra, I could be talking to other Libras, I could be talking to other air signs. You could not be an air sign and not be a Libra. It doesn't really matter. But as a Libra, I have like an internal drive towards justice. I like to see things be fair. I like to see things be balanced out karmically. I like things to make sense. So every cause needs an effect. Like I need that balance, and I need it to make sense, and I need it to be fair. And a lot of times that can bring me down, because sometimes when you're looking for justice, it's another way of comparing yourself or comparing your progress to other people, right? So in a case where this is your goals and your life purpose, unless we're literally talking about someone who is going to go on to be a Supreme Court justice, or someone who is going to go into law and order, and even there's rarely justice, in my opinion. You have to let go of this feeling that you can control outcomes, okay? It's one thing to manifest and to speak positivity into your own life, but you have to remember that everyone has free will. And you also have to remember that you are not in control of the cosmos. You are not in control of life itself. You're not in control of other people's lives, other people's decisions. So as it relates to justice, we always have to surrender that to a higher power. Okay. I also find it interesting that because I did a reading for myself before I did this reading, and my ancestors spoke to me through the hoodoo deck, and the hoodoo deck, I got the justice card, Mr. Buzzard, and it was saying that in hoodoo and in the root working lifestyle, there is no right and wrong. There's an action and there's a reaction. And so with that, you kind of make your own moral compass and decide what justice should be. But it doesn't always work. Like, it doesn't always work mentally to think of life like that. To think of life as someone did something to me, so I'm going to do something back to that person. Like, you have to be able to be okay with things turning out however they turn out. Even in the root working card from the hoodoo deck, I was warned by my ancestors that if I were to do root work, which is not something that I do, but if I were to work roots on someone as a form of retribution, I need to first ask myself, will I be okay with making this decision? Will I be okay with affecting the life of somebody else as a result of something that they've done to me, or that I felt that they shouldn't have done to someone else? And for me, that answer is no, because understanding that everyone has their own free will, and understanding that God is in control, universe is in control, understanding that my ancestors and spirit guides are always going to be there to help navigate and guide me through whatever necessary changes, I think and I feel and I believe that it is not up to me to seek justice upon anyone else. That is what I call 3D justice. I like 4D justice. Hell, I like 5D justice. Okay, I want my ancestors and my spirit guides and God to take care of whatever needs to be taken care of, and I trust that they're going to do that in the right way. Okay, so that's what our potential blockages may be from my intuitive perception. So I want to read to you what the Two of Cups in reverse could mean. Well, it's not really a reverse message, but It says there's a super amazing, spectacular person in your life, or there's about to be. You love being in their company so much. Each time you're together feels like a party, and your heart is just bursting full of love for them. Get drunk on love, enjoy them beside you, and let them fill your cup. So that's the positive side of the Two of Cups. Like I said, this is a beautiful connection. Who wouldn't want to have that type of love in their lives? But just make sure that you are not putting everything into this, meaning you are not keeping time for yourself and for what is important to you and your purpose and your goals. Okay, then we have the Six of Cups. Remember, this card is in reverse. Okay, Six of Cups. You're being called to embrace family and friends with kindness and compassion. Spread your love and sweetness to those you care about and nurture your connections. You might also be feeling a little nostalgic. Maybe there's something painful from your childhood that needs examining. Just don't forget to be kind to yourself, to your past self. Embrace them. So this card being in reverse lets me feel like you are not feeling connected to your family, or you're not feeling connected to loved ones from the past, and you're not giving yourself love. You're not being gentle with yourself, and I want you to go ahead and rearrange that, fix that, because it's important to love your past self. It's important to heal those shadows. And then the Justice card. So this card is saying, hold on. The choices we make shape who we are. She does not treat her task lightly, and the balanced scales indicate she is weighing all the options before her. Justice seeks to uncover deep understanding of moral and ethical truths. Once she's found her right path, she's ready to take action and use that sword. You have to take responsibility for every choice you make. If you drift through life without examining your choices and what they say about you and your values, you'll never be truly self-aware, and you may find yourself treating others with dishonesty and unfairness. There may be a difficult issue that you need to examine, or a social responsibility that you've been neglecting. It's time to stand up. It's time to do the right thing. So with the Justice card, it's just important to remember who you are, what your values are, what your morals are, what you are comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with, and don't go outside of that just trying to get revenge or trying to make things fair. Okay, so those are our potential blockages. And with that, we are going to move into a message of healing from the White Light Oracle. So what needs to be healed at this time? These messages are extremely long, the readings in the book, so I'm not going to read them fully. I'm going to give you just a few key points and a point of meditation. What is a message of healing for the collective at this time? I've actually never seen this card before, which I love. I love that. So this I cannot pronounce really, but it's, I think, Yeshi Sogail. So this is the card that came up. Ooh, hold on. So this is the card that came up for our message of healing. This is very interesting. I see a very fierce tiger, so I wonder what they have to say to us. Again, I've never received this card before in working with this deck. Oh, actually I have received this card before because I have things written down. So the spiritual number, the angel number we have for this card is 333. This is the 33rd card of the deck. So in total we have 5 3s. So the affirmation is, you shall overcome all obstacles. Success is imminent. So stay connected to your path no matter what, and continue to apply yourself. Allow your spiritual path to support you in all areas of your life. Live by your spiritual beliefs. Seek out the support of your spiritual brothers and sisters for help when needed, but also trust that you are intimately and directly connected to the powerful divine light within. There can be a dramatic healing breakthrough when you rely upon your spiritual connection. That's powerful. That is powerful. So seeing as though I've already worked through this card before in the past, I'm going to read to you the things that I underlined, okay? The supernatural tigress is a yogini guardian for the humanity and emanation of the compassionate goddess of peace, prosperity, and long life, known as the white Tara, the medicine of the spirit tiger. Okay, there's a boldness of spirit and a willingness to engage your challenges. A boldness of spirit and a willingness to engage your challenges will create the path to inevitable success. She represents our ability to generate the spiritual power necessary to accomplish what needs to manifest for the greatest good. Okay, there's fearless enlightenment that cuts through all obstacles. I wrote rely more on God. Okay, this represents the indomitable will that conquers negativities because it refuses to be overcome. The tiger is a symbol for navigating treacherous territory and the triumph of light over darkness. Tiger spirit medicine can control the poisons of anger and hatred, transforming them into passion, clarity, and unwavering commitment to one's higher purpose. This is really powerful. So I'm not sure where my camera cut off, so I'm going to start back at... It indicates that a negative time is drawing to a close, and it encourages commitment to the task of overcoming negatives through spiritual practices suited to you. The repeated 3 symbolizes that all manner of assistance and support will be granted to ensure your attainment. Trust the universe and go for what you want with boldness and courage. Finally, this oracle indicates triumph over even the most severely negative energies, with the help of supernatural intervention if need be. To activate that blessing, be determined to prevail. Truly, you are a light worker. Embrace it and live it. Okay? This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Wow. This is a beautiful card. So basically, this is a culmination of all the things that we were talking about. With this card, it's saying that God, spirit, universe, they're all here to work with you and to work for you and to help you attain everything that it is that you want to attain. So going back to that 5 of Cups card from earlier, it doesn't matter what hasn't worked in the past. All that matters is that right now you acknowledge where your potential blockages are and kind of just use this 333 angel number and the spirit of the medicine tiger to just encourage you and help you know that it's okay to still walk with confidence even though you've been through trials. It's okay to not really know how things are going to work out, but that things are going to work out. It's time to make new plans. It's time to step into a new headspace, renew your energy, renew your courage, renew your strength and your determination. Okay, so with that, we're going to close out with a self-care message from my self-care oracle deck. Just want to hear 2 things that we can do to care for ourselves this week so that we can move ourselves into the space that we need to be in for success in our goals and in our life purpose. Okay. So we have possibility. And it says, focus your attention on what could go right. When you learn to imagine the best case scenario, you get to enjoy and experience twice. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I feel like there's also maybe someone who is dealing with fertility issues at this time, or who have maybe suffered a loss. Just don't lose hope. Don't lose faith in that. And then there's also our message called decision. And the decision message says, sometimes the best decision is no decision at all. And when this card comes up, I feel that it's very ironic, especially for me, and especially in this reading, because we've had the Justice card, which represents the air sign Libra, and it also has the scales, right? So this is our second time seeing scales this evening in this reading. And the irony in that is sometimes the best decision is no decision at all. So like I said, sometimes surrendering justice to higher powers is the best decision for us. Sometimes when we're sitting here like, how can I get my lick back? Or did she really have me fucked up? Or did he really have me fucked up? Like, sometimes just not doing that is the best decision for ourselves in the moment. Okay, so remember, sometimes the best way to love on yourself and to care for yourself is to relax and release control over everything, or the desire to control everything. So these have been your timeless messages. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. If you are interested specifically in tarot messages and nothing else, I invite you to subscribe to my Sacred Tarot channel. It's Sacred Tarot 434. If you are here from the Breangelique channel, I appreciate you for tuning in. If you are here from the Sacred Tarot 434, I appreciate you for tuning in. This has been another timeless message. I love you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.